All right, Bears post-game show. The Bears have finally won a game, the first time winner in 347 days.
Not a full year.
Not a full year.
Nope.
40-20 over the Washington Commanders.
The scariest blowout there ever was.
Pretty much, yeah.
That was a
It never
nervy.
got too scary.
Dude,
it was starting to get hairy.
When it was 30-20 and they had the ball, I was like,
They missed the field goal.
They missed the field goal.
Yeah,
they missed the field goal. They would have cut it to 7.
Yeah.
It was getting hairy, not scary.
Did you? I
was
didn't
having
have
some
that
dark
feeling.
thoughts. You did say that.
I know stinky when I see stinky. I didn't feel completely stinky.
Sniff the
I started sniffing to make sure there wasn't any stink in the vicinity, but in the end, my nose didn't turn up any stink.
Yeah, it did feel a little bit different than Denver game.
It's fun when you football games, isn't it?
The problem, the reason it was getting stinky and hairy, whatever you guys want to call it, all the running backs were out, all the corners, corners were out. So I would like to praise Matt Eberflus for being like, all my guys are out. I'm just going to send the house every time.
Yes, smart
that was
defensive coordinator.
Yes.
Well, it didn't work on one of the touchdowns, but whatever.
No, but like, what are your options? You want to leave your guys out there in single coverage against McLaurin and fucking Dotson and all? They have a ton of weapons.
They do.
McLaurin's a stud. Stud.
Curtis Samuel, like, he's their third or fourth option. He's a great player.
Yes. Honestly, man, it's just, I said it in my post-game video. It's just nice to have a primetime game and not be like
the laughing stock of the entire country.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it really, like, cannot be said enough how much it sucks to, like, repeatedly get, like, in your mentions, like, you guys are fucking not worthy of the same field as most of the NFL. So.
When was their last primetime game?
Their last primetime game?
Was it the Patriots game?
I believe it was.
So they're the primetime Bears. It's a whole new meaning. That's the only time they could win.
Was that their last?
I think it might have been. They might have had one more down the street, but they would have been flexed out.
They didn't have many primetime games last year.
And I feel like if they had
They had the Commanders before that. We know that Thursday night game.
That was the ugliest game ever.
And then they had, did we open a season with the Packers last year? Oh, we had the Packers Sunday night. Remember? We were at Barstool River North. And we lost.
That was a 325 game.
It was a prime timer.
Week 1?
It wasn't week 1. It was week 2.
Oh, I thought you meant this year.
No, last year.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the only 3 we had last year.
Yeah, but so I'm saying, like, they got a streak. That's my point.
Yeah, no, you're right.
They got a winning streak in primetime.
Honestly,
with a year in between games.
Listen, we know they're not a good team.
Yeah, but they showed some fight tonight.
They did.
They were competitive. They're going after the ball. They had a lot of guys. Flying to the ball on defense. They were punching it out. Like they were way more competitive 1 through 53 than they were the previous 4 games.
It honestly, I mean, obviously, player to player, the team didn't get better over week. The effort was night and day. Like, I'm calling it right now. The player of the game today was Andrew Billings. He was fucking awesome today. He was fucking awesome today. Obviously, DJ Moore, he's a fucking stud. And Fields looked great again for the most part. Little hairy on the accuracy to nitpick a little bit on a few deep balls, but no big deal. But Andrew Billings, the entire defense was just, they were like Hornets today. It was great to see. Yeah. They're just not good.
Gervon Dexter had some moments at D-tackle too. Like there were names to call out that you're like, all right, that was
that
nice.
We have not called out for the first 4 weeks.
Correct.
Right.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's what was so funny was like, whoa, Billings, Dexter. Ngakwe's name was said a little bit in the first 4 weeks, but still he got home.
He was noticeable.
Yes.
A couple times. Yeah.
And then Walker.
Oh yeah.
Walker was in the mix a lot.
And like emotional, like leader kind of out there. Like he was fired up, like, dapping guys up, celebrating. Like you want to see a heartbeat on this team, which has felt like they haven't had a heartbeat.
They did. They seemed dialed in. Even coach seemed dialed in. I thought. There
was one time when it was 30-20 and they panned. It was right before I think it was like a 3rd and long. And they panned to Eberflus, and his eyeballs. It looked.
He's like, oh fuck, we're about to blow this, and I'm gonna have to clean out my desk today.
I was getting the coach from the Waterboy vibes where he lost his playbook.
Yeah.
It was like, oh fuck, Eberflus.
Coach
Klein has those eyeballs.
Coach Klein,
yeah.
But no, the whole team seemed dialed at heart.
Yep.
And the Commanders, the Commanders are better than us. That was very weird showing for them. Maybe they're coming off that Eagles game and they're just like totally toast.
Short week. Yeah. You know, it felt like if there was a time to catch them, we got them at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of adversity from the Bears today. So you like to see it. It's very unfortunate, as we said before, that you win that Denver game. Things are so different. You're looking now, like I was teasing that, but it's so true.
It's true because if you're 2-3 and you look around the Bears division, it's not like the Packers have done anything since. The Lions look pretty good.
Yeah.
But the Vikings look like they're kind of dead. I actually had a thought today because we were talking on the stream about how bad the NFC South is as well. If you're the Falcons, what?
No, continue.
They should be trying to trade for Kirk Cousins. The Falcons are like, they got a good defense and a good running game and good weapons. Like, they need a real quarterback. I feel like Kirk Cousins can go in there and make them. Like,
Kirk's the hot name for a lot of teams, right?
Yeah.
Like same with the Jets, and like, who knows what the Vikings are going to do? It's got to happen somewhat fast.
Yeah, because it's week 6, right?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah,
it's something like that. Yeah, they got to do it fast. Whoever the team is, and I assume a team's trying to get to that bye week to try to kind of cushion that trade in with that. But I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? But you're right. Like the Lions look pretty legit.
Yeah,
are pretty comfortably the best team in this division.
Definitely.
There's no doubt about that. And like, listen, like we're not going to say that the Bears are good either.
They're not.
There is a lot of opportunities this week where, I don't know. We just still like we still have so many holes too.
Yeah, they're not good, but they're not like the complete. They might not be the complete dumpster fire that they were against Kansas City and Tampa, and the Packers. You know, like that was like this is like the worst team I've ever seen. You didn't feel that way tonight.
Yeah,
it felt like that's like even if you caught Washington at a good time, they never competed the way that they did.
That's a perfect game of what we wanted. Fields 15 for 29, 282, 4 touchdowns. Finds your number one receiver that you traded the number one pick for 8 catches, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns. This is all we wanted.
Yeah.
Even if you lose that game, now tough because you're coming off that Denver game. We weren't going to go 1-17, and that's what everyone keeps saying. That's like the monkey on your shoulder where it's like, oh, you got to lose. We weren't going to go 1-17.
Right.
Like we're slotted in to get a couple wins. So like I'm not panicking about that. Also, let's just hope that the Panthers are that bad that
the Panthers are that bad.
Yeah. They are. They're that bad, but let's hope they are that bad and secure that number one spot where we do have that luxury of looking at
trade out of it again.
I just saw Joe Ostrowski just tweeted that as of right now, obviously a lot has to shake out through Sunday night still, but as of right now, the Bears still have the top 2 picks in the draft.
There we go.
And then who does? And right now, the 3rd pick would be Vegas. And who do they have this week? They have the Green Bay Packers. So
yeah. I mean, it's way early. It's way early.
I know.
Yeah,
it's early.
So early.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like and I've said this many times now, but like you want the luxury of trading out of that top pick if you get it, you know, because you believe in Fields. And it was like these are 2 games in a row where you feel more confident about him as.
I thought Fields play. I guess for you guys because you guys declared out.
Yeah.
On Fields. And how did you feel about him? You felt good, felt better about the game plan too. I thought as well.
Yeah,
the game plan was awesome.
I like.
Why is Getsy so boom or bust?
I like the.
It was the same as last year. It just took him a couple weeks to get his fucking engine going. I don't know why.
Designed runs.
A lot of them tonight.
They had a lot of those early in on first down.
He ran 11 times for 57 yards.
Fields,
good.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good number. How many of those do you think were designed? 8, 7,
yeah,
something like that. And I even felt like his scrambling was a little bit because like he hasn't had like the big electric run like he did last year. Remember, he felt like he was doing one of those a week.
Coming though.
But like tonight was the first one where it was like, all right, you actually got 15 there. You know, like scrambled for it, like made something out of nothing. There's one where he like reverse field, and I'm like, he might just like take it to I think he picked up 2 yards, but for a second it was like he might go 70. And so I'm definitely not. I'm not out.
Oh, so you're back in.
Did I ever say I thought I was more like you?
I don't know. I can't totally recall. I thought you were. I don't think I was ever out. Okay.
Because I've always wanted him to be.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
You weren't like a hater,
Right.
Like that's the thing. I'm not like sitting here being like "fuck you" for being out.
No, I know.
I understand. Like
so
there was.
I think where I was is where you were after the Washington game last year, where it's like, all right, maybe it is Caleb.
Got
Williams,
you. Okay,
You know?
that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's just like because at some point, like after that Kansas City game, it's like undeniable. Like you have to start thinking about the other, like what the future is.
Things
right.
were not great.
Right. So, but it's like you see how he plays against Denver. And like that, I want to give a little credit to that offensive line tonight too. I think they gave up a few sacks, but like that Washington front four is fucking nasty with Sweat and Chase Young. He played a lot tonight. I didn't find him very impressive in general, but they have some dudes. Payne at defensive tackle, like they have some dudes along that front. And I thought even like Larry Borum, like guys like that who have just been fucking smoked all year long, I thought they performed pretty well. Nate Davis looked pretty good. Tevin Jenkins, you didn't call his name out, so he came in after Lucas Patrick went out early. I don't recall Tevin Jenkins ever getting beaten for anything. It was just like hey, he's playing left guard, he's fine.
I don't either. The only, I would say the only one who, and he's been bad all year, I think, is Cody Whitehair. I think he's the only one that had
snaps, but
had a subpar game. But as the unit as a whole was night and day compared to what it was a handful of weeks ago.
They gave up 3 sacks. The quarterback was hit 9 times, so not the best day. But it did feel in real time that
you watched that game. It was different.
Yeah,
it was different,
and it's a better unit than our unit. That's just a fact.
Yeah,
so you're right. So like, it's not going to be perfect. I agree.
In
the run game, I thought I was impressed with how those guys were getting downfield. Like I like that. Nate Davis, Whitehair got downfield a couple times. I was really impressed with how they were sticking with blocks, and Khalil Herbert looked good.
He did
until he went down.
Yeah,
hopefully
that
he's
looks
all right.
like it's gonna be. He tried to gut through it, but like
he'll be out a few weeks. I think.
I'm glad that he got back in, and that they have 11 days before the Minnesota game now. So maybe he's back by that game, but they don't. And then they lost Travis Homer and they lost Rashawn Johnson. Like they're
down to a fullback.
This is we are thankful that we have the luxury that we have 4 people.
Yeah,
like Foreman's going to be active probably in 10 weeks or in 10 days. So that's nice. But 10 carries for 76 yards. That's a good day.
Chunk.
Yeah, he chewed it up. He that was his best game, I thought.
One more thing on the offensive line, the sacks and the hits that you were saying. They flashed up this stat during the game. It said that Justin Fields' numbers when he gets the ball out in under 3 seconds, and it was at that point it was like 14 of 6, or maybe it was like 24 of 28 or something like that, or 18 of 22. Like great, very good numbers.
Yeah.
And then holding the ball 4 seconds or longer, he was 0 for 4 with a sack. You know, like
I think he's starting to realize how good number 2 is as well.
Number 2 is fucking awesome.
He's a fucking stud.
He's awesome.
He's a stud.
Like I think that's what he got to. Like I think there were so many times where he was just boom. And to be fair, the Commanders left him pretty open a lot.
But
a lot.
When the game was on the line late, he was throwing those out. He had a couple where I was like, where you're thinking it's going to get picked, and then like DJ Moore just kind of like makes a more athletic play, and Fields led it to the sideline. Like it was like a perfect pass, and then that guy with the ball in his hands, it's like he's off to the fucking races. And but I think you're right. He was like, you know what, fuck, just throw it towards him.
And you gotta have that mindset. Like, if he's sitting there right now, he had 14 games left to go. 13, excuse me.
Yeah.
Like people are ready to turn the book on him. You never want to get to your second team like that.
Right.
Like you had to get to a point where you say fuck it.
Yeah.
Because
just sling it.
Yeah. Like it was clearly like a processing, like too much confidence maybe. Maybe he was just overthinking.
Maybe he had
too much going
Claypool
on
in his ear after every play being like, hey, I was open on that. I was open on that. I was open
maybe.
on that. Yeah, I'm like, honestly, not even, because they had like their little dust up on the sideline. Fields publicly has been like in Claypool's corner. But that, I think he didn't throw it to Mooney more than, the 2 times? 2 times? There's 0 for 2, but I think
definitely
Mooney
had 2 targets.
2 targets that I recall. But it was just like, I think the only guys who caught passes in the game were DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and Robert Tonyan, I think, had 2.
You're correct.
Yeah. So
Mooney had 4 targets.
4 targets? Okay.
I don't know if you guys had seen this yet or if this has been talked about, but Bears GM Ryan Poles on Chase Claypool saga. I wish him luck.
What? This guy must just be a giant fucking asshole.
I think Chase is going to learn from this situation. We all will, and I wish him luck moving forward throughout his career. Poles said in an interview pregame on ESPN 1000 pregame show. Did we know this? Because I did not. This is the first. Like, that's pretty definitive. Like, he's
gone.
He's gone.
Well, it was like, don't come.
Yeah, I know that.
Like,
Yeah,
come,
I know that.
But it was
Yeah.
don't come to Hallis Hall.
Yeah.
Not don't come to the game. Yeah, don't stay home.
I want to know what he did. I would love to know.
I think
Just
it
a
was
douche teammate.
multiple things.
Yeah, not showing up to film and.
Well, they Eberflus
Team
said that
group meeting,
like he
yeah.
was late. You know, you got to be respectful, show up on time. All so it's just like this guy's just a fucking dickhead.
Yeah, fucking
He's
get him out of there. I
yeah.
like that. I don't care that they just traded a second
Me
round.
neither.
Fuck him. Get him
Yeah.
out of here.
Once it's like
You're
the
a
deal.
bad seed. You spoil or whatever.
I feel that way about draft picks too. Like once you're drafted, like you're all equals now.
Yeah,
So
right.
like Claypool, like you're high pick, gave up a high pick to get him. All the physical tools in the world. Like
He's
that
a
guy.
horse.
Yeah, Poles. I mean, Poles is never going to live it down, especially this past year. Him saying, "I'm not blinking on that one." Like he even stood behind the trade when
Yeah.
people were critical of it after half a season last year. He didn't.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm not blinking at all. I'm not worried." So he's going to have to He's
gonna blink a little bit.
It's definitely a blemish on his record,
Yeah.
and that's something we could talk about in the future. But as far as Claypool goes, I would wager he will never be successful in the NFL.
No,
Dude, he's not gonna be successful in life.
I mean,
that guy.
that bleeds over into.
This guy's just a fucking dickhead. And when he was in Pittsburgh, his first year was good, and then it was kind of a decline after that. And he was just like he was always on TikTok, and I was like, they don't like him because he's on TikTok. Like think about like when you would hear like negative things, but like, well, who the fuck cares? Like we're in a different era now, and then maybe this guy is just a fucking dickhead, and I think that's what's come out.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably only a couple head coaches that could deal with that, and that's like the real veterans, like who are good at like rebuilding, like the Belichicks, like the guys who took like flyers on like Josh Gordon and stuff. But Josh Gordon was way more talented than a guy like Chase Claypool.
Yeah,
but
You know what? The Bears should sign him right now.
Who?
Josh Gordon. Is he on a team?
I think he's in like the CFL or something.
I mean, all he was doing was smoking weed. Now it's legal everywhere.
Little
Who
pot,
cares?
David?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think like towards the end, it started to get a bit much. I think.
Well, I think he like can't. He's smoking weed every day.
Shout out Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon's in the XFL.
Yeah,
XFL.
Yeah, he plays for the
something like
Seattle
that.
Sea Dragons.
What are his numbers this year or last year? Is that season still going?
I have no idea. It's spring, maybe? Is it spring?
Nah,
Look at give him a tryout.
Josh Gordon. We're good. We got DJ. I like Mooney.
Yeah.
Lifetime ban for smoking weed. Fucking poor guy was just born in the wrong era.
Cole Kmet is now like a legitimate part of the
a
offense
weapon.
every week.
Yep.
He needs to block better, though. He does. He needs to block. Get a fucking
Hey.
hat on him.
Hey, Dave. Cole's my guy. I agree.
He needs to block better.
Yeah, he had a couple moments tonight where I'm like, you know what, dude, just fucking pop him in the pads and then
That's
really,
like just a hand, a nice little stiff arm right to the chest.
He's a big, strong dude too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big strong man.
But to your point, he has been much more active in the offense. He scored last week too, I believe, right?
He had 2 touchdowns last week.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns last week, and so that's 3 in 2 games. Offense is looking good. Defense now.
Defense looked good tonight.
It looked
especially for
structurally sound.
But especially
They
for
did give up.
what the secondary was, it was
Yeah.
bubble gum and duct tape.
That's true.
You
I mean,
know.
I'm trying to play devil's advocate because I don't think everything was
Like,
roses,
Dude,
and gumdrops.
you
but
hold,
sure.
you hold an NFL team to 3 points and a half. I'm pretty happy with that.
Howell he had 16 straight completions at one point, and
But they were probably playing soft. And
I
they were-
understand
yeah.
it. So it's like, how do you even? It's a win.
Yeah, like
it's a win.
Jalen Johnson is the heartbeat of that defensive backfield.
Definitely.
So it's very hard to,
I don't even know who half these fucking players are. I don't.
Dude.
I didn't.
Strowman Jr., baby.
Yeah, who is he?
There's
What's his
a new
first name?
Strowman in
Marcus?
town. What?
Do you know his first name?
Marcus Strowman Jr.
Is it?
We have one of the new owners, a guy named Irvin Magic Johnson, none too pleased with his purchase tonight.
What'd he say? Greg Strowman.
Tonight, the Commanders played with no intensity or fire. We didn't compete in the first half and got down 27-3 heading into halftime. It was too big of a hole to climb out of, and that is why we ended up losing 40-20. First sentence, no intensity or fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, he is a walking just billboard tweet, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why we ended up losing 40-20.
Yeah.
He's got to be in on the joke by now.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think he is.
Dude,
I don't
there's
think so.
no way.
But how, even
when-
that, like, the first line of that is kind of like more personality than he normally puts into tweets.
But if he even just cuts out that, and that's why we ended up losing 40-20,
Yeah.
it's not horrible.
Right.
But that end is like he is AI.
Yeah.
Like he is AI.
Yeah.
How long? When did they like close the sale?
Like earlier this year.
Yeah, I know it was
Yeah,
it
during
wasn't-
the season almost, I feel like it closed
So when can you start calling him we?
immediately.
I don't know. That's
Dude, if
weird
you
to me.
write a check for, let's say he wrote a check for
it's a
300
clue.
million. No, but Magic individually. Let's say Magic's cut.
You think it was that?
What was the sale price? It was like $5 billion,
no
right?
fucking-
It's crazy.
It was
Insane.
a huge number. Yeah.
It was like 6.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like $6 billion. So let's say Magic put in 300 million, let's say, of the 6 billion, whatever his chunk was. Yeah, I think he gets to say we.
Yeah, 6.05.
Yeah.
I don't care if he put in that 05.
Yeah, it's
He gets
for real.
zero
That'd still be
fucking-
$5
That
million.
05's not nothing.
That 05's $5 million,
Yeah.
right?
What'd you do for that 05,
50
Dave?
50
million?
billion.
50
50 million.
50 million.
Yeah. 50 million's a lot.
There's not much I wouldn't do, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that movie theater money.
Well, I mean, what wouldn't you do? That's where you should start.
Dave, I don't know what I wouldn't do.
Let's start. Okay, Lance, stand in front of the camera and drop your pants to your ankles.
50 million?
50 million. Right
Yeah,
here.
I would do that for 50 million.
Fuck yeah.
I would just like
Oh, David.
I'm in a good mood, Ed.
Yeah, you
And
gotta
we got
be
a
in
road
good
trip
mood.
tomorrow.
We got a
too.
road trip tomorrow. Yeah,
Boys-
we also I
the
should have
boys will be
mentioned.
buzzing on this road trip.
Yeah, I should have
man.
mentioned. We
Especially-
recorded right after the game, so
Especially
It's like
Josh
11.
Gordon over here.
yeah, Josh Gordon. This guy's hitting that Gordon strain on the way to Columbia, Missouri.
I might have to.
Yeah,
I might have to.
he's going to use this podcast as reason why. Oh, you guys talked about Gordon. I'm going to hit the Gordon strain. 100%. He's going to use that as his.
Yep.
I'm gonna hotbox the car on the way down there.
No.
Like Super Troopers.
Littering and
Smoking the reefer. Remember when we had them in here, Ed?
Yeah, good guys.
Yeah, Farva told me I could be an extra in their movie, their
Yeah.
next movie.
do you ever follow up on that?
No, I didn't. I should though. They emailed me. I'll fucking follow up.
Let's go.
Number 2 follow up. I have received a follow up email from our hair people.
Oh.
I haven't responded though.
All right, let's talk.
Yeah,
Off air.
all fair. Yes.
Off air.
Why are you calling me, Ed?
I'm not
Pick
calling
up.
you.
I'm not. I do have a voicemail from you though. It says.
He
For
does.
people that don't know, I mean, this is off track, but there's me and Dave are like getting
It's very weird.
like spoof called where he's calling me and I'm calling him at the same time.
And you're both just showing each other their phone.
It's something
and no
like-
one touches a button or anything.
Yeah.
Our
You
phones
guys
are just.
have to answer at the same time.
We did this morning. I was getting in the shower to come here, and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "What?"
And he
And it was
called me.
you-
He's like, "Yeah, sorry." I was like, "What'd you need?" I was like, "Dude, you called me." And like it's one of those things where like I get mad, like not mad, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
annoyed.
that's what he's like. You called me. That's
Yeah.
exactly his tone.
And he's just like, "No, dude, all right, my bad."
I mean, I don't know.
You did get mad because I can picture
I didn't
you.
get-
being
I
like-
didn't- I
it
wasn't
you're
mad.
Like,
It
this fucking dummy.
I wasn't mad, but I was just like, "Dude, you called me." Like
I was confused. I'm like,
He didn't even believe you
maybe.
on the stream.
I didn't.
Yeah. He's
But
like,
it happened. He saw it twice now.
Yeah.
It happened.
I
It's
don't
just very weird. I don't know why it's me and you.
I kind of love that it's you two, actually. I hope it happens in the car tomorrow.
It very well could.
The electric.
It's
It's
happened
been
like
happening-
5 times in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, it's happened a lot. So whoever's fucking with us, it's kind of funny.
But stop it, because I don't need to talk to him any more than I do, and vice versa for him
Exactly.
and me.
They're probably stealing your identity one call at a time.
Most likely.
They don't
All
have
right, I mean
anything to
that's
steal from.
honestly that's really
Okay, no,
positive vibes.
we need to wrap up here. I think so Fields has now had 2 excellent games in a row. One against a trash team. One I would say against an actual NFL team. They're not good. The Commanders, however, that's an NFL team. They'll win 7, 8, 9 games, whatever. I mean, think
they went to overtime with
the best team in the NFC. Yesterday, last week or
3 days ago, 4 days ago.
But how many? Excuse me, I got a little air hiccup there.
Yeah.
How many until you're like, all right, we need to talk. Not just extension, but like we need to talk about Fields like being here for the.
Don't even want to do it.
No.
We got 2 back-to-back games at home, and then we got Sunday night in LA.
Let's just
see where
chill
we go
for the next 11 days.
Yeah, I'm just so happy we didn't get embarrassed on primetime. And I'm just gonna accept my day at that. I'm gonna have a nice Sunday too.
Yeah, we're just gonna chill.
Exactly. We're just gonna
be in
chill.
Good mood.
We're not chill.
We're gonna drive.
We can talk about this next week.
You're gonna be on that. What do you mean you're not gonna chill? You're gonna be on that Josh Gordon strain on the way back on Sunday.
Josh Gordon.
I got a couple of things planned for me and my guy Ed over here too this weekend.
Get the fuck out of here.
What else you got planned?
They're all surprises.
Okay, I like that.
He's just afraid that the stoolies are gonna be making fun of his weenie.
Why would I be afraid of that?
No, I'm just kidding.
The nug.
Yeah. Also, we should say, R.I.P. Dick Butkus.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You know, a couple hours before kick, the news broke, and I wrote a blog, saw David a tweet, like he just is like your father's favorite football player.
Yeah.
You know, like he is the epitome of a Chicago Bear, like defense, grit, linebacker. Like, he's just everything to this franchise. Like, I mean, if you're listening to this, you're a diehard Bears fan, so you know. I just felt like in the blog, I was like, people outside Chicago, like they know the name, but they don't really know.
Dude, they don't know.
Like, the 85 Bears dominate this town, but Butkus was like right there with them.
He's more, for us, he's more of like a myth. Because you've seen like the grainy videos on the NFL films and the stories from
like
your dad and your uncles. Yeah, the big.
Yeah.
His face mask was enormous.
Yeah, it hits his fucking
Yeah,
pecs.
yeah, and you know you would see like wasn't there a story like he killed a guy? Like there's all sorts like on the field. There's all sorts of like legends about him, and so that is like
CPS kid.
Yep. Chicago guy through and through.
Illinois.
U of I.
Southside guy played with the Bears when they played at
Old
Comiskey.
You can make an argument that was the single greatest draft of all time because they got Dick Butkus and Gale Sayers in the same draft. It's pretty good.
That's a pretty good fucking draft.
I'd say.
Yeah. No, for sure.
2 Hall of Famers in one draft class?
Yeah.
Is that how many times has that happened to ever?
That's what I mean.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question. So, yeah, R.I.P. to Dick Butkus, legend. I think that's really all there is to it. So, thanks for listening to the Mid-Show, presented by Miller Lite. It's the weekend, guys. You guys know the drill. Make sure you're stocking up on Miller Lite.
Yep. Miller Lite's the absolute best. We're going to have some down. We're going to bring some with us.
Oh, yeah. We'll be having some Miller Lites at the zoo. No doubt about that. So, whether you're on a college campus, if you're watching at home, if you're at a bonfire, maybe you got that going on this weekend. If you're
it's a little cold it's going to be a little cold for a bonfire.
If you're enjoying the foliage of the newfound fall.
It's foliage.
Foliage. Whatever you're doing, however you say it, just enjoy Miller Lite. Be safe. Just make sure it's Miller time all season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/redline, or you can find it anywhere that they sell beer. Make sure you celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
The best. We love Miller Lite. I have one more thing to say.
Yeah.
We're at 98.8 thousand. If we reach 100 subscribers, 100,000, he'll hit the Josh Gordon stream with you. Eddie will. Yeah. No. We've been trying to think of something.
Yeah, Ed's never.
I did not agree to that.
So?
You're not a team player?
I think that's a good idea.
If we hit 100, I will smoke with Jelly. Like, that's coming.
Well,
so
you're going to do that
anyways. Yeah. I would hope.
Well, yeah, I'll put it in overdrive and I'll make that happen ASAP.
Okay, all right.
So get us to 100.
Can I come?
Yeah, can I come too?
No, you guys are narcs.
What do you mean? I smoked with him. He and I are boys.
Dave didn't go. Dave was honky.
He was a little tie.
Yeah.
I was talking.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. That's it. We'll see you guys on Tuesday.